UFC 300 is not far away, and the promotion must really be looking to put together an impressive card. Judging by the depth of various divisions, the 170-pound division strikes us as a valuable contender to rule the card, housing not one, not two, but many boogeymen who are ready to take the crown. Not many men have earned this tagline, but those who did, they went on to create a peerless reputation. Men like Tony Ferguson and Yoel Romero are some examples who were truly feared in their prime. But this time, in this video, we are merely going to focus on the welterweight division and precisely on one particular Kazakhstani fighter, Shavkat Rakhmonov. Jeez, that is one heck of a complicated name that is bound to make your tongue go for a ride. But as complex as the name really is, the man is truly one of the biggest boogeymen in the welterweight division today. Hailing from the Middle Eastern country of Kazakhstan, Rakhmonov was born in Uzbekistan, and he is truly a man poised to attain greatness. But wait, he isn't the first and only boogeyman in UFC history, especially in the welterweight division. As the rather short history of the sport reveals, there have been many men and women who actually became people's champ ever before picking up the gold for real. But what separates Shavkat from the rest of the division is truly hidden in the details. In the current UFC roster, there are a number of fighters who are carrying the same notoriety. One such name that springs to mind is Khamzat Wars Chimaev. Chimaev made a name for himself for stringing together crazy wins in a rather short amount of time, from not taking a punch to the face apart from the fighter named Gilbert Burns, to finishing every opponent within a round. Wars cemented himself as the man to beat, stalking not just one, but two weight classes. But all that quickly changed as his aura of invincibility took a serious dent when he faced the Brazilian Gilbert Burns. Burns not only pushed Khamzat to the very limit, but almost unraveled a chink in his armor. Wars may be a monster, but he has some serious issues, issues in the cardio section specifically. When push comes to shove, Chimaev definitely seemed more human, and it was revealed once again in his latest bout against Kamaru Usman. Despite the otherworldly dominance, Wars has seemed quite beatable. This is where the Kazaki fighter takes an edge. The man has put together an impressive streak of an unbeaten 18-0 record with a 100% finish rate. Allow us to rephrase that again. He has a 100% finish rate, with all the fights apart from one outside of the UFC never going beyond the second round, beating the likes of Jeff Neal, Neil Magny, Alex Oliveira, and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson with ease. But impressive records and high finish rates can fall off, as it has been witnessed in the past. Let's take the former champion Kamaru Usman for example. If we dial the clock a year back, before his downfall that began in Salt Lake City, the Nigerian Nightmare was seen as the pound-for-pound king with an unbeaten streak in the UFC. Usman's journey to the world title was a lot like his nemesis Leon Edwards and the man of the hour, Shavkat Rakhmonov. The elite wrestling and relentless pace that he offered made him a nightmare matchup for everyone. Usman had a hard time booking fights, but when he did, they usually saw him putting on a wrestling clinic. But all that came to a screeching halt with one fatal head kick that seemingly shut his lights out and his time as the best in the world. Prior to his rematch with the current king Leon Edwards, Usman hadn't really ever been taken down. Edwards proved the naysayers wrong on both accounts by taking him down and knocking his lights out, exposing one key weakness in the striking department that Usman isn't necessarily the greatest at. In the case of our main man Shavkat, he has showcased nothing but greatness on both aspects, striking with a broken ankle and out-wrestling Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts like it's no biggie. In this day and age, Shavkat might be the most complete fighter who isn't a champion yet. Despite being in the UFC for nearly 4 years, he has only had 6 fights under his belt. You want to know why? Well, you guessed it, no one really wants to face the guy. He has surfaced as the ultimate wrench in everyone's plan that even 3-time title challenger Colby Covington is not keen on calling out. After his impressive performance against the aging Wonderboy at UFC 296, UFC icon Joe Rogan made it quite clear that Shavkat is the uncrowned champion. Without taking anything away from Leon Edwards, his title reign faces its biggest threat yet. Ranked in the top 3 at this time, Shavkat has already staked his claim at the world title after UFC settles Belal Muhammad's score with the champ. This is undoubtedly going to be the most interesting fight to make in 2024. But what if Dana White makes a different choice and offers Belal his chance before Shavkat? Well, this opens the door for many dream matchups that would be perfect for UFC 300. Dana White has promised to put on a stacked card, and we would like to throw in our suggestions. Boers versus Shavkat would make for a delightful matchup for MMA nerds, although Chimaev has been guaranteed a title shot in the middleweight class. A loss would not derail the star power of either men, but whoever walks out as the winner here would most likely be the one to fight the other for the world title in the future. Apart from this, a fight with the former champ Kamaru Usman would also serve as a great choice. A marquee name like that would only propel Shavkat into stardom, but a loss to the African King Usman might totally derail the budding star. The real question is, will UFC dare to take that risk? Only time will tell.
Don't forget to follow Sportskeeda MMA on all our social media platforms.